expanded out, got players in good spots. Here's another couple examples of good zonal defending off initial throw in here. Whenever possible, even in zones, when we have a chance to keep a player under pressure, we continue to step with that player and not let them out easily. So again, there's an example of a vertical run going back towards their own goal. We continue to track that run and keep the ball under pressure. Delaying their pressure a little bit, but channeling it a little bit there because they weren't close enough, but they eventually win the ball. And it was because of initial good pressure put on the ball. Here we have another example of it going on right here. A run was made back for a ball by a forward. That run is tracked by the defender, comes with them, keeping this player back to goal. So now the advantage is still with the defending team, and he tracks him with it throughout the duration of the play. Here another vertical run forward for a big ball was tracked, keeping good pressure on the ball when it comes down. Ball is won and they attempt to counterattack out of it. Again on a throw-in, vertical run tracked, makes them play it back. They step and come together as a team as this play moves. See how the zone, the shape moves together across the field. As the ball moves, the players are moving. Sliding, stepping up again. There's that bump up in the back that we talked about. Here we have a wing midfielder marking opposing team's wing back. Therefore, this wing back steps up into midfield to defend their wing midfielder, and then the other three backs just slide across the field, keeping gaps tight and zones covered. This player could sit in a little bit more here, maybe to help cut out some through balls or forward balls into forwards' feet. But again, they're staying nice and compact with the team. And then once the ball gets down towards our box, here's another characteristic of zonal defending. We man mark in the box so that we are able to cut out all service, intercept crosses. So we track runs into the box and mark tightly once we get into our own box. Here we see a shape of our back four. Again, they're nice and tight. Not good pressure cover. If the ball lands in there amongst them someplace, they'll always have cover. Definitely the two red forwards here are making their job a little easier by staying so close together, but usually they'll expand out into spaces or check back for the ball, and then the shape of the back four must change. Frequently we refer to the back four as a flat back four if it's zonally. Really, this is an indication that we're playing without a sweeper, that we're sharing responsibility across the field. But it's really never all the time flat. It's a dynamic moving zone. So if we can get this going here, we'll see how they deal with the punt coming in, I think. So we see these, even in these timely areas, they're moving together. It's dynamic. So here we go. We have one defender stepping to pressure the air ball, and the other three backs tuck in, stay tight behind him in good pressure cover positions. So although we call it a flat back four, we see here when a vertical run is made, the shape of the back four is not flat anymore. They're in a pressure cover shape more instead of a flat back four shape. Here they go. They've dealt with it. They've kept tight. It's a little helter-skelter going on right now, but now when they win the ball, you see the team opening up again. They're expanding forward and opening up. Here's our back four again. You see how this player had stepped, but now they broke pressure. Now he recovers back and becomes part of his back line. But again, look at the shape of the four. It's across the field. They're tight together in their zones. They keep their gaps tight and together. And that way they're able to intercept any balls that are played forward. And again, we win the ball, we expand out. You see these players opening up here. They're opening up. They're getting wide. They're looking to unbalance the defending team, which is a little bit easier to do in zones because we're already in our good spots. And then we keep the ball. The purpose of good defending is always to win the ball, not necessarily to destroy. Sometimes we destroy, but mostly it's about winning the ball, regaining possession. Here's some examples of zonal defending principles in a 4-3-3 system of play. The principles stay the same, perhaps maybe, but the shape of the team is different. Okay, so if you could stop it here a little bit. Here's the back four in this case across the field. Again, the gaps between teammates is what's essential. The center midfield is a midfield diamond shape, a triangle shape. They keep that shape and just adjust it and change it a little bit as the ball moves. And here in this case, here's the two wingers coming back to defend. There's another one probably just a little bit off the screen over there. The 4-3-3 is a very flexible system in that sometimes the forwards have to track back and mark vital players in those dangerous situations. Since the red team here has a midfielder getting forward in midfield, this forward feels like he has to track back there because this back is occupied. So let's watch this go here a little bit. You see the triangle staying together. Now it's moved. This looks like they're too high and one sitting. And you see that this guy's communicating well, pointing out where dangerous players are coming in. But this holding midfield role here in this 4-3-3, his job is sort of sit in front of this central area if there's forwards coming in there and deny penetrating passes into that space. You see him looking over his shoulder to where this runner is coming so that he can deal with him. Again, we take a look here. The goalkeeper has a punt or a goal kick. We see the good four in the back. Here's our midfield triangle. Here's some wingers coming back, and here's the point guy up off the screen just a little bit, ready to deal with this long clearance. Good pressure cover again in the back. It's not flat. Keep our shape. If we're tight, we'll be able to dig out second balls even better, which we do in this case. Hopefully we'll be able to keep possession here. Perhaps this player could have spun out, played the ball back to his keeper. But since our shape is good here, we're able to even dig out errant passes because we always have players in the valuable spaces around the field. Here we go again. There's a forward in midfield pressuring. One of the backs has stepped here, leaving three to slide and cover across the field. Here's a holding midfielder, and the two attacking midfielders in this case a little bit higher. So again, good pressure, making them play the ball back. Vertical runs are tracked. It'll helter-skelter, but good recovery, good pressure recover. Again, forcing the team to play back, keeping the team compact. This player is getting a little bit unbalanced here, but because of the red team's ability to put a player wide. But for sure, the 4-3-3 is definitely secure centrally, and they do a good job getting numbers. Even when players are beat, they have good covering positions. So there's a look at some 4-3-3 zonally. And again, as a way of a summary, zonal principles of a ball-oriented defense. The gaps between our defenders is what's essential. We have to keep that space tight and compact, and we just move that shape around the field based on where the ball is.